Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again, we have a great engagement here in between two pro players from the South Korean scene. This game has been played in the year 2015, so I will tell you guys when exactly the games have been played from now on, as a lot of you guys have been asking me when exactly these games have been played. And as you can see from the thumbnail, of course, something out of the ordinary is going to happen here, as we're going to see BISU doing a little bit of a strange strategy here. But first of all, let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. We have spawning here in the low right, in the purple, it is Mo Fei from South Korea. And his opponent, of course, spawning here in the upper right, in the blue, it is Only Star aka BISU as the Protoss. The map they're playing on is called Circuit Breakers, a 4-position map, so once again a fast expansion would be a possibility, but BISU here already spawning here his pylon very close to his main base, so let's just see exactly what the follow-up is going to be here. So like you see from the thumbnail, of course, there is going to be some mind control here with the red Archon, and yeah, with more supply here for BISU, strangely enough, but I'm not going to spoil it more for you guys. Let's just see exactly what both players have prepared to us. And yeah, Mo Fei also opening up here with a close supply depot to his main, as more and more workers are being constructed here by the both players. The barracks is also following up here by Fei, as BISU also opens up here with his gateway. So nothing yet out of the ordinary. His gas is also up as we have passed the 1-minute mark. Gas is also being produced here for the Terran, so yet nothing out of the ordinary yet. Of course, we see many Terrans go into mechanical build order when it comes to play against Terrans. Actually, most Terrans do this. Some Terrans also like to fast attack the Protoss with a bunker rush with some Marines. But in this case, everything is normal. And once again, the 2-minute mark has hit, and we see already BISU moving out here with his probe. We've seen this in many previous replays that lots of pros really think that a 2-minute mark would be perfect to send out your first scouting probe or drone or SCV and so on, and luckily for BISU, this probe is actually heading here into the right direction, as Fei also builds here yet his second supply depot. Now with the timing, perhaps Mo thinks, or he believes, that BISU should of course be in the upper right part of the map, as this will very likely be a factory here for Mo Fei. So yeah, indeed a factory. So like I told you guys, most Terrans really like to go into mechanical build orders with some siege tanks, Goliaths and Vultures. Vultures, of course, very good early on against the Protoss with their mines. And yeah, this SCV very cocky here, finds BISU, also goes immediately for that pylon. The range upgrade is being done for those Dragoons. Dragoons, of course, very good early on against the Terran. If they've been microed correctly, of course, they can deal so much damage against Marines early on. But in the end, the siege tanks will be very good against those Dragoons. Now more and more Marines are being popped up here, as the barracks is going to float up here. The add-on is also being done here for the factory, so very likely soon we will be seeing some siege tanks and so on. So yeah, strangely enough, this SCV is heading into the lower left part of the map, so he might do an expansion there. And yeah, BISU already sending out here his first Dragoon, but the Marines are on the high ground, so Fei should be okay here. BISU just checking here this proximity. He really wants to know when exactly the expansion is going to happen, but lots of Terrans really like to build their command center here in their main. The Dragoon is still in position, sees no expansion, sees no army move out yet. And yeah, let's have a look. This SCV might go here for a building, perhaps another factory. No, actually this looks like a command center, so yeah, like I told you, most Terrans just build it here in the security and then just float it up here into this position. However, more and more Dragoons are joining here the fight, and they might be very good as long as this upgrade is going to finish. The upgrade has finished and BISU might try a attack here. However, this siege tank is already up here, so they should be fine here with those 4 Marines and that 1 siege tank. Now at the same time, BISU is also opening up here with an expansion with this pylon. Once again, Fei sends his CV here into this main from the BISU just to see exactly what's he doing, and he actually sees the robotics facility bay, so he knows that some drops might follow here from BISU with some reavers, with some storms from high temperatures. So BISU is of course much known for this, but like I told you, that robotics facility also would be a very good shuttle for a Dark Archon, because like you've seen in the thumbnail, BISU is going to try once again something out of the ordinary yet here for us. So yeah, his expansion is about to finish here. The 5 minute has passed. The expansion from Faye also is going to finish, so no aggression yet here by these two both players. A nice beeline here with those Dragoons just to defend this position here. And yeah, both players are playing it really safe here. Both players really nice job here into defending those expansions with those siege tanks, marines and so on. Faye might even build a bunker into this position. And yeah, one factory for him. The armory is also going up here for those upgrades. And yeah, let's just have a look what more and more is going to happen here. BISU also checking this proximity and builds a pylon here, so he might try to expand here into this position. Perhaps the 12 o'clock position here would be better for him, as it would be closer to his mains, but perhaps this pylon here is just to have a little bit more vision here, perhaps just to see exactly if Faye wishes to build a expansion out of the ordinary in a strange position here. A nice wall in here with those marines, with those tanks. Scan is also about to finish here for him, and yet another scan, so yeah, very important to have scan against the Protoss just to see exactly what he is doing. So yeah, an observatory is of course out for him, because like I told you, Terrans really like to go into vultures with those mines. And yeah, nothing yet out of the ordinary yet. BISU actually feeling very confident and even expanding into this position, as his first observer is already out. But a nice scan here by Faye just to see this observer. Sadly, I don't have any info about Faye. I don't know who he is. However, these players will write to them each other in South Korean, so I'm pretty sure he's from South Korea, but I didn't find his AKA on the Wikipedia page, so maybe you guys know who he is. As the observer once again is coming in, if he's going to get scanned, these Goliaths might take care of it. So BISU already opting to see exactly what Faye is going into. He really wishes to have as much vision as possible. This could be another command center here for the Terran, once again nicely being hidden here in his main. Another observer here is nicely being placed, and one Dragoon is strangely enough moving out here, but he needs to be careful. There are some tanks in, and the Dragoon is falling really quick here, so perhaps this was a bad rally here from BISU. It happens sometimes. Let's just have a look what more and more supply depots are being placed. The Dragoons are roaming around, some probes are being transferred here, and yes, 3 gateways here for BISU, as he also has here this building. So let's just have a look at a Stargate here for him, so we might see some arbiters, and yeah, even a Templar archives for those Templars with Psionic Storms perhaps. And yeah, more and more gateways are being added, as both players still haven't decided to attack each other, and we're slowly but steadily closing in at the 10-minute mark now. This pylon is still up, it gives nice vision here for BISU, and BISU even moving out here with another probe, so he might expand into this position here. So really a very macro orientated game here by BISU, as he's placing his expansion, his nexus, and that pylon. Soon the command center will of course float here for Faye into this position. And yeah, still no army move out yet, so BISU playing it very safe. The same can be said here by Faye. Also nice barracks here into this position, just to spot any shuttle drop here by BISU. So really good job here by Faye. Sadly, I still don't know who he is. Perhaps, like I told you guys, you might know who he is. Maybe you can let me know in the comment section. And yeah, let's just have a look what exactly is going to follow up here, when exactly this Dark Archon is going to, the Red Archon is going to come out here for BISU. No shuttle yet for him, only observers, and that Arbiter Tribunal of course being added here. Like you guys know, most Protoss really like to go late on for some arbiters or perhaps some carriers. This time BISU decides to go for some gateway build order here with those arbiters, so we might see more and more zealots being added with those dragoons, with the upgrades for the dragoons and zealots and so on. So yeah, the Terran will very likely stay to his position, to those siege tanks with Goliaths and vultures, so pretty standard stuff here by him, as his expansion, his second expansion here for him is already pumping minerals out. More and more factories are being added by him, so he had a pretty standard stuff here by him. He already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factories here. So yeah, we're going to see once again a mechanical composure here from the Terran against BISU's Dragoons with Zealots here. So more and more gateways here for him, more and more Dragoons with Zealots. Pretty standard, as both players are macroing out really fast now as the economy is kicking in. FEEI doing a nice job here placing those mines, but BISU this time prepared with those observers. He has so much vision here, and FEEI actually decides here to move out as the 10-minute mark has passed here for him and for both players. So 1 weapons upgrades have been done, as BISU also is going to move out here. Some zealots are in the group, they have speed upgraded indeed. So the first engagement is going to happen here really soon. Zealots are being microed back here. They should be in the front, so BISU once again tries to find a good position for them. And in comes the Zealots in the front. The Dragoons are nicely being microed just to target one tank after the other. But the tanks are really nicely positioned here. However, more and more Zealots are coming in here for BISU. Both players are hurting very much. Both players are taking so many casualties. Many Dragoons have fallen. But in the end, BISU with a little bit of an advantage here wins the first battle here. However, more tanks will be added and BISU decides to retreat. Sadly for FEEI, he's already at 81 supply here against BISU. And BISU really pumping more and more gateway units out here. And even adding more and more gateways. So yeah, he feels very confident here. As he once again is pushing out, this time backed with an Arbiter. So all of his units are invisible. Sadly for the Terran, there is no science vessel out yet for him, so he really needs to rely on those scans. So let's have a look. Does he has a starport somewhere? There's that starport, so he really needs to build now a science vessel just to detect the units here from BISU. Now let's have a look. More and more map awareness here by BISU's. His observers are nicely being spread. There's even a zealot here. So yeah, let's just see exactly. We also saw a shuttle here. I really need to find this shuttle, as this shuttle is going to of course be very important here. Currently with 4 zealots here. Of course most Protoss really like to drop those zealots onto those siege tanks so that the siege tanks will deal splash damage to themselves. Finally we have a nice move out here by FEEI with those vultures just to kill this expansion, just to attack those cannons and hurt them. So really good aggression here by FEEI after losing the first fight. And yeah, BISU is on position as he's going to move those units back. So yeah, really good first engagement here by him, as FEEI is slowly but steadily recovering. However, BISU already at 160 supply here against FEEI. So yeah, more and more is going to come here of course from BISU, and this is the unit which I told you about, the Dark Archon of course. Very nice unit with many spells here. Currently is being left in the base here from BISU, but this unit is going to be very important here for BISU, as like I told you, it can also control the mine from the enemy units. So let's just see how much supply is it going to steal, what BISU is going to go for with it, as FEEI once again does a really good job here with those vultures, catching some dragoons, and yeah, even places some mine into that position. So really good stuff here by him, as BISU is feeling once again very confident here with his troops. And we saw the Dark Archon moving into that shuttle, also being backed by that Arbiter. So pretty soon I think that BISU is going to move out here with his army. 0 to 2 weapons upgrade, so many zealots here for him. Also dragoons are being added as he also expanded into this position, and Terran just seems to be waiting now for another army move out here by BISU. BISU throwing everything he has, and even this shuttle with that Dark Archon here for him. So dragoons with zealots 0 to 2 upgraded are being thrown down against the Terran. The Terran does a nice job defending here with those vultures, with those mines. However, the observers are in the front, the siege tanks are being sieged up. This clump here could be an advantage here for the Terran, as the supply depots also will block here the entrance here against BISU. So nice stasis field this time from BISU, doing a really good job. Sadly for him, he did lose that Arbiter. So in comes the shuttle. Is he going to drop his load here against the Terran? Is he going to perhaps steal some siege tanks here? It could be an options, but like I told you, this ledge here with those supply depot nicely being done, nicely being defended here by the Terran. Terran not losing that many units. Sadly for BISU, he did lose quite some zealots and some dragoons, but his economy is much stronger here against the Terran, as BISU decides to go for a new position here. Comes in here with his shuttle, with those with a Dark Archon. There's the Dark Archon. He needs to be careful not to lose this unit. Already taking so much damage, but did he save it yet? Wow, once again he did save it. This Archon dropping so low here, so nice micro here from BISU, but his units are taking so much damage here from the Terran, so he needs to find a better way here to move forward. Once again he decides to change his position. Let's have a look. Perhaps he's going into this position here. It's not that much being defended here by the Terran. The Terran is sieging up here, so BISU, I guess, is just waiting for some more units to come in here to back him up. In comes the shuttle. Just looks around a little bit. Let's have a look what BISU is going to perhaps steal here. There's the Dark Archon. And did he steal anything? Yes, he did steal that SCV. Look at that, BISU taking that SCV here, leaving the Dark Archon behind. But he did stole it, and I'm pretty sure FEEI did notice it at this shuttle here, stole the SCV. So what exactly is he going to do with that SCV? So really strange strategy, a very beautiful and out of the ordinary strategy. Of course, his economy looks very strong here. He's at almost 4k minerals, so he has to produce very likely firstly his command center. Of course, you can't just build straight a factory and so on. Yes, indeed, he's going for that command center into his main here. So what a crazy game here by him, as BISU decides to go for his, so I will have to mix the units now. I will have to say perhaps his zealots and his, I don't know what is going to be, marines, fire bats and so on. I never casted anything like this before, but then again it's BISU, so you never know what to expect from him. What an extraordinary gamer indeed he is here with his shuttle. Perhaps he's going to produce yet another Dark Archon, and perhaps even steal some more as he's building his first command center here with that SCV. They even stole the gas here, so really great job here by him as he's taking control of the map. His units are in the middle of the map. We are closing it at the 20-minute mark, and FEEI is still on a very defensive position here. But the fact that they're writing to each other, I was very sure here that FEEI knows that BISU has stolen that SCV, and he's preparing a army move, a mixed army move out, I would say, with marines, perhaps with fire bats, with, I don't even know what is he going to go for, tanks, vultures, whatever, battle cruiser, who knows, if he has time maybe he will add some battle cruisers here. But for now on, he's just taking really much control of the map. He's expanding all over the place. So many workers here for him, 68 workers versus only the 55 workers here, so he's pretty much very much in control of this game. Also even leaves everywhere at the expansion here from FEEI. He leaves all those zealots behind, 0 to 3 upgraded, just to see exactly, just to have that map awareness, that map control, and just to see, and of course knowing that he has the advantage here, given the fact that he has more expansions here against his opponent. Now let's have a look at the main once again. There is that command center here from BISU, and yes, you are seeing right, there is that supply depot, and the barracks is also being placed here for BISU. So BISU playing here Protoss. It's not a 2 versus 2 game, guys, it's actually a 1 versus 1, but he did stole a nice SCV and really great stasis traps here by him against the Terran. Perhaps the Terran feels that something is of course not right, so he has to push out here. Let's have a look at his upgrades, 0 to 2 only, but BISU doing a nice job here controlling here the situation with those stasis fields, and always leaves his units here into the middle of the map, not allowing any army move up. Finally the vultures make it here through, so if this pylons falls, he will very likely take so much damage here, and so many cannons will fall. BISU still leaves his units in the middle, and as soon as these cannons will finish, he should be able to hold this position. So nice job here defending by BISU. Also nice job here by FEEI, trying to take down this position, but the first cannons are out, so sadly for FEEI he has to really soon back down. As sadly for him, yes, those vultures will of course fall. And if you look at the economy once again, it's 4k. Let's have a look once again. Hold on, there's an army move out here by FEEI. Really strong army move out, as they will very likely meet in here. But let's have a quick look at the main end. He's going for some factories. Finally a good EMP here by FEEI, but an even better stasis trap here by BISU, so BISU once again on the defense, so perhaps he's just going to wait a little bit just to add some Terran units here. Once again a good engagement here by both players, sorry about that, as we have a great Psionic Storm here. Zealots are, excuse me, Zealots are in the front, but so much splash damage has been done here. So let's have a look once again at the main here from BISU. What is he going for? Siege tanks. It's actually mass siege tanks, and he's also upgrading here his siege ability after stealing this SCV with that gas. The SCV still hurt, so BISU has to back down a little bit. He even adds here some SCVs as FEEI is moving slowly but steadily forward. He did split those tanks, but BISU's throwing here his zealots in front of him. Good Psionic Storm once again dealing so much damage here. So much is being lost here for FEEI. A nice EMP however for FEEI, as he's also taking down the shields here from BISU. So BISU has to pull back a little bit, but his siege tanks are slowly but steadily being produced here for him, and he's even adding here into this position some factories, so more and more siege tanks will follow up here by him. So a mix of zealots with dragoons and siege tanks. So siege tank is the unit which BISU has decided for. So very interesting. Let's just see how much money is being left, how much time is being left here before BISU. The economy from FEEI is also slowly going out now, and if you look at the supply, all of a sudden BISU has 211 supply here against his opponent. Of course, after stealing that SCV, he is able to produce more and more units here. FEEI is moving out straight to that expansion, but is there any defenses? Now he sees his enemy SCVs here, and yeah, he knows that BISU is of course something up to something here. So yeah, BISU is coming in with those zealots. Will the High Templars have time to cast a crucial Psionic Storm? BISU needs to be careful, he might lose those units, so a little bit of a bad rally point here. In comes the reinforcements here, but FEEI doing a really good job here against BISU. But look at that, BISU with his own tanks here on the high ground against the tanks from FEEI here. So really good job here with those two tanks in the high ground. The reinforcements are coming in here for BISU. Nice EMP, no energy on that High Templar, as more and more is being thrown here from FEEI into BISU. So FEEI looking very strong here. BISU hurting, but more and more tanks are being added here by BISU, as they're not really seen here. So good advantage here with those tanks on the high ground here by BISU. So much being killed here for BISU, as there is no vision here for FEEI. FEEI is moving however into this position and takes out this nexus here, but this is a nice defense here by BISU, as he's adding more and more tanks here, and his siege tanks with his zealots are coming in with those dragoons. A nice defensive matrix here, but even greater stasis trap once again here, as the tanks from BISU are moving in here against the tanks from FEEI. BISU also backs it up with some dragoons here, and that arbiter also very nice here, making those tanks invisible. So really great stuff here by BISU. A good scan here by FEEI, but sadly for him, his forces will fall, and so will this trapped siege tanks here by him. He's adding more and more vultures, more and more tanks, but it's just not able to break into this position. And look at all of those tanks here from BISU. He's even producing more and more. Yes, he's going for more and more from this location here. So really great game here by him, as he's mixing tanks with zealots and dragoons. Tanks 0 upgraded, as these tanks here from FEEI will of course fall. So let's just see how FEEI is going to act. Just going straight into this position. He doesn't wish to allow here BISU to expand more and more. So a nice army move out here. There are some Dark Templars, but they will be revealed from the science vessel. So good job here by FEEI. Sadly he loses one science vessel, and he needs to be very careful here. So yeah, perhaps BISU is going to try a recall here with his arbiters and his tanks onto this position. Currently he's just defending, just staying back, and more is being destroyed here by FEEI. Hold on, I did miss a actual recall here, so he's just recalling his units into this position, just taking so many SCVs out, and at the same time he's being protected by those arbiters. So sorry about this one, guys, as the arbiter finally has fallen, but there's another arbiter into this position. Not actually a lot of damage, a lot of energy onto that scan. So both players are hurting each other's economy, but BISU at 82 workers versus the only 39 here from FEEI. FEEI also does a nice job here, moves forward, but there's 2 Dark Templars here and there's no detection. Where is that science vessel here from FEEI? Yeah, he did a scan, so he does see this, so this expansion has fallen for FEEI. At the same time, this expansion is going to very likely fall here from BISU, and BISU with his command center, perhaps he wishes to expand into this position here, as FEEI once again splits up his troops. BISU with a huge army move out here with his dragoons, with his zealots and siege tanks, needs to be careful against those mines. So the zealots are being sent front. BISU is sieging up once again. So it's a tank versus tank war against vultures. However, there's also many tanks here for BISU. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen here. This army is still into this position. However, BISU losing many dragoons here. He needs to be careful. He needs those observers to be on point just to detect these mines here. So what a crazy and interesting game we have here by these 2 players. Once again, the zealots are moving in here, backed up by that arbiter. So the command center here from BISU is of course willing to take this position here. FEEI once again moving out here with his tanks. And yeah, but the tanks from BISU here already expecting this army move out in a great stasis trap. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's have a look. More and more arbiters are being added. Really great stuff here by BISU, pushing this aggression back, and at the same time he secures this position here with a small army move out. This army also nicely being stayed here by BISU. So yeah, more and more is being pushed out here by him as we're closing in at the 30-minute mark. Sadly for FEEI, he's only at 37 workers. This these SCVs are still mining here, and FEEI also deciding here to expand into this position. Sorry. And yeah, BISU once again moves out here with his tanks, not sieged up, but a great stasis trap here on the tanks from FEEI. So tanks versus tanks, backed up by zealots in the front. 3 arbiters, and look at all of those stasis traps all around. So sadly for FEEI is going to fall very much here. Those tanks are being trapped, they are being surrounded here. So really good job here for BISU. Really great job here with those stasis trap, as he's going to surround those tanks with his own tanks perhaps, and with his zealots and dragoons. So yeah, what exactly can FEEI do? His economy still looks strong, but what can you do against this? Look at that, he's sieging up just straight next to his to the enemy tanks. So tank war here, and look at that, so much splash damage here by these both players, as the tanks from BISU are of course in the end much stronger against the tanks from FEEI. FEEI is still mining, he still has a good economy, but more and more is being added here from BISU as he's going for his tanks. His tanks are only 1-to-1 upgraded. Let's have a look at the tanks from FEEI, 1-to-3, so FEEI would have a much advantage here, but BISU once again is moving out here on the map with his tanks, with his dragoons. So yeah, now another nice stasis trap here against the Goliaths here, as those SCVs sadly are not mining, and of course that is the last drop here. And look at that, even 2 great recalls here by BISU in the end, just killing here his enemy. What a great and out of the ordinary strategy here by BISU. A little bit lucky with that Archon. That Archon was very low for him, but in the end it did work out here. He has 211 supply now. I believe he once had the maximum of 241, so really strange and out of the ordinary strategy, but it did work out for him. Nice job by him. Very nice game here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Finally a little bit out of the ordinary stuff for you. Might try it on the ladder, it's really cool with that Dark Archon. So yeah guys, I will be seeing you of course in the next replay. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. This is Tommy signing out.